Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Megacat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bunte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger you're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
I didn't even cut you off. You can't start laughing already.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me is my good friend and co-host and the president and CEO of Gamerheads, Phil. Phil, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm in my basement. I've been watching pro wrestling all day. I just recorded a pro wrestling podcast and I'm recording a video game podcast. The good news is it's my basement and not my parents' basement, so I am an adult, just a nerd.
It's just the two of us this week as Mike is out on assignment.
We gave him a summer vacation.
Oh, we gave him. Is that what it was?
He's been working very hard all year. As we all know, Mike works a lot. He's a very busy man.
He is a very busy man. So you gave him vacation. That's nice of you.
Yeah, I sent him on an all expenses paid vacation.
Oh, okay. Wow.
He's also probably just in his basement.
Yeah, I was going to say, where to? Sheboygan? Sheboygan.
I can't afford Sheboygan. I can afford a new handrailing for his stairs.
Well, so he's out, so it's just us two this week. So welcome everybody to the show. Welcome Matt, Jill, and Sarah to the show, our lovely patrons and listeners. So you can become a patron of the Gamerheads podcast as well. For as low as $3 a month, you can join the Gamerheads Nation. Just go out to patreon.com/gamerheads, and you can sign up there. I'll put a link in the show notes. If you decide to go to the $5 tier, though, whoa. Now we're talking. You get some merch. You get a T-shirt. You get a signed welcome letter from the president of the Gamerheads podcast, Phil. Like, he signs it. He writes it out. He writes you a message.
It's one of my 3 skills I can still write.
Yeah. So for only $5 a month, that's actually pretty cool. So go out to patreon.com/gamerheads. Support independent games journalism. Phil, I do have an icebreaker, though, this week, since it's just the two of us.
Yeah, man.
I thought this would be kind of a fun icebreaker, but maybe not. But I think it might be kind of fun. So here is the icebreaker. If video game characters could host a talk or host our podcast, which character would make the best host of the Gamerheads podcast?
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of different, isn't it?
It is. I don't know what this says about me, but the first person that popped into my brain was Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh my God.
I said I don't know why. That's just the first person that popped into my brain was Leisure Suit Larry. But as far as
that's an interesting pick. Yeah.
I would also go with Laszlo. And for those that don't know who Laszlo are, and judging by the look on your face, you're not sure who Laszlo is either.
No, it sounds familiar. Is it an Overwatch character?
No, he hosted a bunch of the radio stations on the Grand Theft Auto series, and he always had really fun things to say. And to the point where I named characters in games Laszlo for years afterwards because Laszlo always made me chuckle. Okay. I then discovered Laszlo was a real person, and I started following him on social media, and his name actually is Laszlo.
Oh, really?
And he had a really good voice and a really good sense of humor with everything. And I think Laszlo would have been a damn fine podcast host. And he probably is, and I just don't know it.
Yeah. That is a deep cut because I didn't know that name. That's pretty awesome.
All right. So full disclosure, I once upon a time did not take the time to do this because I'm not that technologically savvy. But luckily enough, I've got a friend of mine that is, and he ripped all the radio stations from Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto, whatever the third one was that came off of that branch, Los Santos. And he ripped all the radio stations onto CDs. That way we could listen to them as we drove around and things like that.
Really?
And it felt like Grand Theft Auto in real life. And I would always listen to the Laszlo station just because I loved the banter that Laszlo put out.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. That is actually one of the cool things about that game franchise, was like all the different radio stations that you could listen to. Like, I thought that was really cool. That is an interesting pick. I will give you that. Yeah. Mine is not as cool. Is yours
Tom Nook?
Oh, he would be a good pick, actually.
You wouldn't understand what he was saying.
That's true. No, I was going to go with something as silly as Donkey Kong, because I think Donkey Kong would be funny. I think he'd be funny. I think if you had the Seth Rogen Donkey Kong on the show.
When was Seth Rogen Donkey Kong?
In the Mario movie.
Oh, talk about things I've never seen.
Yeah. You've never seen the Mario movie?
No.
Oh, it's really good, Phil. It's really good.
I think I watched like 10 minutes of it, and then I'm going to call it fell asleep.
Oh my God. I would say, oh my God. Either Donkey
I was watching it in bed, and like I just kind of fell asleep.
Oh, okay. Donkey Kong and Seth Rogen would be funny. I would also say, I think what actually would be really funny banter, and I am so sorry I don't remember the actor's name, but I do remember Mario, Captain Lou Albino.
Yep.
Him, and then I can't remember I think it was like Peter or something. The guy that played Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. But those two being a podcast host for the Gamerheads Podcast would be hilarious. They're unfortunately not with us anymore, but that would be really funny. And in character. I think that'd be hilarious to have both of them on the show and hosting the show. I think that'd be hilarious.
I think there'd be some really good banter there, especially when you got two brothers that are doing it. Like, there's no holds barred at that point.
Well, I was talking about this with a friend of mine about how good that show was. Those two had such good rapport with each other, like, and it just felt like they were actually brothers. It was funny. They were funny. They were good. Even now, as an adult, I watch it. I'm like, this is actually really funny. And they had like famous people like Cyndi Lauper. Now I understand, like Captain
definitely dating us.
Yeah, I know. Captain Lou Albino was friends with Cyndi Lauper, but Cyndi Lauper was on the show. Nicole Eggert was on the show. She was like on the first show, actually.
Huh.
Do you know who Nicole Eggert is?
I know the name, but
she
I'm
was
not putting a
Charles in Charge. She was in Charles in Charge, and then she was in Baywatch too. She was like the oldest sister in Charles in Charge.
Okay.
I think they had other people. I want to say Cher, but then I'm like, I don't think it was really Cher, because like feels like that would have been crazy. Yeah, I think it was somebody pretending to be Cher, but I know that there was like Cher, but I don't think it was actually Cher. I think if I remember correctly, I think Elvira was on it too. I think. But that doesn't also make sense. While I was looking at it as a kid, I'm like,
know,
really?
Man.
I don't think.
In the 80s, Elvira was doing almost anything.
That's true.
That definitely was a possibility.
Yeah, that's true. But I think they would be really good podcast hosts. I think those two would be really funny, and in character would be absolutely fantastic. So those are my picks for two people that could run the show probably better than us, honestly. Like,
well, I mean, we could. In your case, literally train a monkey to do it. Actually, he's an ape.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. I thought you meant me. I was like, what? Replace me? Yeah.
It's all full circle, Roger.
Yeah, I get it. No, I do. Yeah. All three of them would be hilarious. It would be really funny. So
I just have a feeling if it was all three of them, it would break out in violence.
Probably.
I mean, Donkey Kong was trying to kill Mario for the longest time.
That's true. Did you know the other thing? Well, actually, Mario was trying to beat the crap out of Donkey Kong for the longest time.
It was kind of a vice versa, right? Like they were both trying to, they weren't trying to get to each other to hang out and
no,
have a good time.
I mean, I guess recently they become friends, but I still don't think they are.
Where in the canon did that happen?
Well, that's what Mike was saying a couple weeks ago, that they're friends now, and I said I don't think they are. Like, they certainly have worked together. In the Mario movie, they had to work together, but they weren't friends. I wouldn't say they were friends. They just had to work together to beat Bowser, but they weren't friends. Jack Black as Bowser would be hilarious. Jack Black as Bowser would also be a funny. Yes, an enemy of many is my friend. Yeah. The other thing I was just reminded of the other day, did you know? So do you remember the old Donkey Kong? Oh, we're going down like this memory lane. The old Donkey Kong cartoon that was on the Supercade, or the Saturday morning Supercade. I think it was like that's what it was called. Peter Culling was Mario, the voice of Mario, and Peter is more well known for being Optimus Prime.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
You said Peter Culling. I thought Peter Cushing, not the same person.
Oh, yeah, not the same person. But Peter Culling was Optimus Prime. More famously known for being Optimus Prime. He actually did a lot of voices in the video game world, or in the cartoon world. But he was Mario. He was one of the first Mario voices back in the 80s. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. And he did not talk like, it's me, I'm Mario. He did not talk like that. He was just like, hey, it's Mario. Stereotypical? No, he kind of sounded like Captain Lou Albino, right? Like he had that, kind of like a New York kind of accent. You know what I mean?
Natural Italian New York accent.
Yeah. That's what he went with. So
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's give a rundown of what we're going to be doing today. So we'll be talking some games that are coming out in the week of June the 24th through the 27th. We'll be covering that. We'll be talking about games we're currently playing. And then the thing that we'll be talking about here right next is the Nintendo Direct highlights. So I know, Phil, you probably watched it, right?
I'm watching it again right now and taking very detailed notes.
Yeah.
Can I cut you off for a second?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Before you get into this, there was also Summer Games Fest, which I also didn't pay attention to. And then there was also some other press conference that happened. Go ahead.
Yeah, we didn't actually cover a whole lot of that. So actually next week, I'm hoping to have a couple guests on. Actually, Baron is going to join us next week.
Nice.
He was actually at Summer Game Fest, so he can give us a full rundown of what that was like there. And then I'm hoping to get another guest on. I'm not going to say who because I'm not for sure if they're going to join us or not. Yep. But I think next week will be a whole rundown of Summer Game Fest and the year too, as is right now, like kind of just talking through the first half of the year. So
I just want to brag about myself for a second.
Yeah.
When we did our New Year's predictions, I predicted a new Gears of War game.
You did. That's true. You did.
A new Gears of War game.
That's true.
Not the Gears of War game that I was expecting, but it's a Gears of War game nonetheless. Still a Gears of War game. It's true. Not a sequel to 4. It's a prequel, but we're still getting a new Gears of War game, and I'm stoked about it.
Yeah. I'm glad you are. I'm not as stoked about it, but that's cool though that you are. I think that's the fun thing that's going on with video games, right? And like this has been for a while now, but there's like something for everyone, and that's what I love about the time that we live in right now.
Something for everybody, but not everything. Everything is for somebody.
That's right. I'll just briefly go through some of the highlights that I thought were for the Nintendo Direct. I'll make this real brief for you.
Can
Phil.
I use my boo button? No, I can't. That's only on the host.
No.
Damn it.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
That's fine.
So some highlights here. Metroid Prime 4 was announced.
Hasn't this been rumored for years?
Again, yeah. But now they gave a year of 2025.
Did I also see a video of somebody fainting during the announcement of this, or was that a weird fever dream that I had?
I mean, that could have happened. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody fainted when that was announced. But they did show some gameplay. It looked cool. I mean, it's Metroid Prime. It's a Metroid Prime game, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're a fan of that, it's there. The one that I actually was really excited for, and I thought this was really cool, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Is this the one where you play as Zelda?
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about it.
So it's, do you remember the remake that they did a couple years ago of Link's Awakening?
Absolutely.
Same style. And it opens up with Link getting sucked into, he's fighting Ganon, and he gets sucked into like this hole in the ground, And as before he gets sucked away, he shoots an arrow. Princess Zelda's in a crystal, like she always is. Like every game, like she's in a crystal.
I was about to say, so let me get this straight. Link is fighting Ganon.
Yep.
And Zelda's stuck in a crystal.
Correct.
Tell me more. This is all new.
Yeah, this is all new. He shoots the crystal, it cracks, he goes down into the pit, Ganon's gone too. And Zelda breaks out of the crystal. And she has to save Hyrule. And she has a magic wand that she can replicate things in the world. So like you can replicate tables, and you can use tables as weapons against enemies, or you can use them to climb up areas if you need to get higher areas. You can replicate enemies that you defeated, so they can fight for you. You can replicate rocks and throw rocks at enemies. They didn't highlight. They highlighted a couple things that you can replicate, for instance, like water. And they had an example where there was a high cliff, and she replicated water and then swam through the water to get to the top of the cliff, which was really cool. So it sounds like the way that it looked and the way they made it sound was you can use this wand and use it any way you want to solve certain puzzles. There's no right way to do it. Similar to like Tears of the Kingdom, where like you can combine things and there's no right way to do a puzzle. You can do it however you want. It kind of has that same feel, except from like a top-down perspective. It looks super cool. And I mean, I would say it's cool that there's finally a game that you can play as Zelda, but that's not true. There was actually a 3DO or CG.
3D. God, what the hell was the name of that thing?
Was it
the Philips?
Yeah, CDI.
Let's go with CDI since we both said it.
Yeah, you can. There's one of those weird animated games where you can play as Zelda in that game. So it's not quite the first game that you can play as Zelda, but it's cool. It's cool. It's at least the first sanctioned game from Nintendo that you can play as Zelda. It looks really cool.
See, here's my problem with this, if I can be me for a second.
Yeah.
Which I have a hard time not being me.
Yeah.
But I was a big fan of Zelda games until they all became super gimmicky. And by super gimmicky, I mean things like now I have this wand that I can use to solve puzzles in any way, shape, or form that I can. Or I'm now in this open world where all my weapons break. Or now I'm doing everything with my Wii controller to do the attacks. Like, I loved Zelda up until Wind Waker.
Really?
I loved Wind Waker as well.
Okay.
Wind Waker was kind of the cutoff point for me, and that's when it all went downhill, because then everything just had like a unique, super smart gimmick attached to it. If you would have told me that they announced a new Zelda game where I play as Zelda in a traditional, I'll even go 3D Wind Waker, Majora's Mask. Hell, even Majora's Mask was gimmicky. Yeah. Ocarina of Time. But like those gimmicks were all like fathomable. They weren't just like, ooh, the entire world's your oyster. Like that turns me off. But if you give me a straight up Zelda game of that old school style where it wasn't just like a free for all of my own thinking because I can't think, I'd be about it.
Yeah. Did you play the remake of the Link's Awakening at all? Did you
No, but I should. I really should.
Yeah, it is really good. And I don't have him here anymore, but I had the amiibo. It's cute, and I like that style. So I'm really happy that we have another game in that style. And it's cool that we got, like, to me, that was like the big shocker. I was not expecting that announcement to happen. So that was really cool. Another announcement that I was not expecting to happen: we're getting another Mario and Luigi game. This one's called Brothership. So it's the RPG type game that's launching in November of this year.
Okay.
That looks cool. We're getting a new Super Mario Party game, also coming out this year in October.
Do those still sell?
I guess. This is the third one that they're going to have on the Switch. The first one that they had was not very good. The second one was better. I'm hoping that this third one kind of fits in line with the second one that they came out on the Switch. It looks cool. I mean, they're bringing in some maps from previous Mario Party games, which is interesting because I think all the N64 games are now on Switch Online, the Mario Party Switch games, but I think they're bringing some maps from them into the Switch game. It's cool. What else? Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I mean, it's cool, but I had that on the Super Nintendo. I had that on
Switch Online,
the Wii. So Metal Slug Attacked Reloaded came out when was that, the other day? Whenever that release, or whenever the Nintendo Direct was. So that's out. That's cool. Another game that I am really looking forward to, and I'm really glad that it's coming to the Switch, is Darkest Dungeon 2. That looks really cool. Isn't
there a free demo too, I thought I saw?
I think so. So that's cool. That's a cool game. And then the other one that I thought was neat, I knew about already, coming July 18th, is the Nintendo World Championship NES edition. So they are doing like short pieces of a game, and then you speedrun it of some of the NES classics, and then you get to be on the leaderboard. You can also compete against other people online, like real time. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool thing. They did this something similar to on the 3DS, and I think on the Wii U too, but I never played on the Wii U because I didn't have one. But on the 3DS, they had this Nintendo Remix, or NES Remix, and it was just like games from the NES era, but then like short pieces of it, but then they would add like weird elements to it, like so it was like a remix, and it was cool. It was a neat concept, and this looks something like that, in that vein, kind of, but more of like, like the NES World Championship that happened in the 80s, and that was like a big thing. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, like for people that enjoy speedrunning stuff, this is like right up their alley. So
for speedrunners and retro gamers.
That's right. So that's pretty much the highlights from the Nintendo Direct. I thought that was pretty decent. I was shocked about some of the announcements, and considering that most people consider that the Switch is on its final leg, I thought that was actually pretty impressive that they're coming out with many games as they're coming out this year yet. So,
did I see they were putting out another Switch Lite or something of that?
Oh yeah.
Too, or was that in my brain?
Yep, nope. They're coming out with a Legend of Zelda themed Switch Lite, which looks kind of cool. So it's along with Echoes of Wisdom, that release of that game. So
we just went way too hard on Nintendo stuff, Roger.
We did. All right. Well, let's switch. Oh, actually,
the games that are coming out on the Switch.
The games are yeah, exactly. I do want to say, I don't know if you are a fan of this game or not. I should mention this. The N64 actually got a new app. The Switch Online N64 got a new app. It's called Mature 17. So, and Turok and Perfect Dark came out on the Switch Online for N64.
Perfect Dark was awesome, and if my memory serves me correctly, a good friend of mine is actually a playable character in the game.
Oh, wow. And did you know that they're coming out with a new Perfect... That was one of the things that was announced at the Xbox showcase, a new Perfect Dark game that's coming out, too. So,
is it by Rare?
I don't know. I think so. But Xbox owns Rare.
Xbox own Rare, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, probably.
But does that mean that they don't own the license? No. Okay, now I'm just confused.
Well, they did the same thing with GoldenEye. GoldenEye came out on N6 or the Nintendo Switch Online.
But it wasn't a new version of it, was it?
No. Same thing with this. This is not a new version of this. This is just the N64 version of the Perfect Dark.
Gotcha. I thought you meant they were putting out a new Perfect Dark.
They are. Xbox is. That was announced at the Xbox.
Not on the Switch.
But not on the Switch, correct.
Back on the same page. We're good.
Yeah. But it's interesting that that was announced at the Xbox showcase that a new Perfect Dark game is coming out. And then Nintendo's like, hey, you like Perfect Dark?
We all do.
We got the N64 version on the Switch now.
Do you like polygons?
Yeah. I thought the interesting thing was that you have to download a separate app for the N64 Mature 17. Because I went out because I have the Switch Online, and I went to go try to download these games, and I was like, where are the games? They're not here. They said they're going to be available today. And then I realized, oh, it's a separate app. Oh,
that is the most Nintendo thing ever.
It is. Because now there's 2 games on this separate app.
You can't shoot things unless you download the 17 version of it.
I hope they come up with more games on the N6. I mean, it'd be really dumb if that was the only 2 games.
Conkers will show up on it. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What else is going to be rated N17 or 17? Only games with violence, and Turok, or not Turok, but Conker's had sexual content as well as fecal content and mature language in it as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't remember any mature 17 games on the N64. I didn't own an N64 though either. So like I do now, but I didn't at the time when it first came out. So
Conkers.
Okay. Maybe 3 games. They'll have 3 games on this app.
I'm just going to take a drink of beer and shake my head because, like, seriously, Nintendo, just put them, like, the games that you're showing, Perfect Dark and Turok, are not offensive. They've got blood
that's
in
the
them.
thing.
Every game has blood in this day and age.
That's the thing. Like, that is actually an interesting thing, and I wonder if somebody would ever do a paper on this. And mature 17 games that came out in the 80s, right? Was the N64 in it? No, late 80s, early 90s, 90s, late 90s. Are those the same kind of games that we see? Like, what would they be rated now? I don't think they would be rated 17. I don't think they would be rated 17. Well, Mortal Kombat, yeah, but was Mortal Kombat on N64? Was there an N64 Mortal Kombat? Well,
absolutely.
Maybe they'll bring Mortal Kombat to this mature 17.
But if I remember right, you had to click a slider to turn blood on. Otherwise, it came out looking like oil.
Oh, that's hilarious. But I wonder outside of Mortal Kombat, if like Turok, if it came out today, if that would be an M17 game, or
Absolutely
if Perfect Dark would be. And how is Perfect Dark mature 17, but GoldenEye isn't?
I think Perfect Dark had a little bit more blood to it.
Okay.
I think that was the only differential.
Because you killed people in GoldenEye.
Absolutely. But I don't think there was the spurt of blood.
Oh, okay. That's the big
Conker's
difference.
Bad Fur Day would still be an N17 game or a 17 game just because there was adult content in it.
Okay. But but really, that's the whole thing. Like, oh, there's blood. Like, we don't care that you murdered people. That's fine.
That was the big controversy between the first Mortal Kombat when it released on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, because on the Genesis they had blood and the Super Nintendo version didn't.
It didn't?
They'd use like a super code or a secret code to turn on blood or some kind of a slider.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see. I played it. But you know, the first time I didn't play Mortal Kombat. I first played on PC. Actually, I did not play it on a console, which is really weird because it did not run very well on the PC.
Chug it on the Commodore 128.
Yeah, exactly. It was like really bad, but it's interesting. But I was, but that's the thing. By the time Mortal Kombat came out, I was almost 17 already. My parents were like, "Well, there's not much we can do. I mean, you're kind of an adult already. I mean, what are we gonna do? Tell you no? But you can't let your younger brother play it. That was a big thing. Don't let your younger brothers play it. Okay." Don't let them know you could rip out skulls and
start people on fire. And
exactly. Yeah, but it's okay to watch Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom where a heart gets ripped out. That's fine.
PG-13. Because you're not in control. You're just watching. It's different.
That's
if you're
true.
in control.
That's true.
Or if
That's a good point. That is a good point. Although, to be fair, like, who's ever really in control of any Mortal Kombat game? I just mashed buttons. I don't know what I was doing.
Like, I was a very long time ago.
I wasn't controlling anything. I wasn't controlling the character. The character was controlling me. I had no control over that thing. It was just like smash. But oh, cool! I did something cool there. I tried. Like, if I hit like rotate and I punch the button and then he'll throw this. None of that worked. I could do Raiden's thing. That was about it. That I could do where you fly across and hit somebody. That was about it. That's all I could do. Like, I couldn't do shit in that game.
This is why I envy Mike. Wow, he swore before I did. Nice job.
I did.
I got a whole bunch of curse words out of my mouth in the previous 2 hours. It's okay. The only thing that I could do in that game was Scorpion's finisher, because it was just hold down block and tap up twice when you're 2 steps back from the person. I suck at fighting games. I envy Mike because Mike plays them, and from what I gather, he's far superior at them than I will ever be.
Yeah.
I am so bad at fighting games, and I am convinced, well, especially back in the old Capcom days, that they took less than no talent to actually be good at, and I went out of my way to prove it to my friend Andy. When we were playing Marvel vs. Capcom, sitting in my apartment in Minneapolis back in like 1997. And I said, dude, this game takes no talent whatsoever. And he's like, what are you talking about? You got to combo this, combo that, combo this. And I'm like, nah, watch this. And I turned my back to the TV, like blindly, played a Spider-Man,
Yeah.
And I finished 500 against him over the course of like 10 fights.
Wow.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm holding my own against you, and I'm not even looking at what I'm doing.
Wow.
I'm mashing on buttons. This shows that this doesn't take any skill whatsoever. He's like, well, just lucky shots. I'm like, or you just suck.
Wow.
Because you were just beaten by Matt Murdock.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that was another thing I should. Now you triggered another memory, another release that they're mentioning. They're bringing out Capcom versus Marvel games on the Switch.
God, I got excited. I thought you were going to lead this somehow into Daredevil, and I was like, how did I miss Daredevil news about a video game?
No,
Is Daredevil in it?
No, Daredevil's not in. I don't think he's in any of the Marvel Capcom games. I don't think.
No, he's not. But he was in a couple of the Ultimate Alliance games.
Oh yeah, but they're also bringing the Punisher too as part of that collection. It's gonna be a collection of games. The Punisher, the beat 'em up Punisher game.
Yeah.
And then the X-Men Children of the Atom fighting game. So yeah, it's pretty much fighting games except for the Punisher beat 'em up, which was pretty fun. I enjoyed the Punisher beat 'em up. That was a pretty fun game. So that's also coming to the Switch too. Yeah. So, how do we get down this path? I have no idea how we got here, but
I'm just here.
We were talking about the N64 and the ratings.
17. That's right.
Yeah. So let's look at games that are coming out next week. This is for the week of June 24th through the 27th of 2024. We have on the 25th we have Cozy Grove Camp Spirit that's coming out on Android and iOS. I think that's a Netflix game, but I'm not 100% sure, but that's coming out on iOS and Android. Riven Remake coming out on the Quest 2 or 3 and Mac and PC, it looks like. This one I was a little surprised about. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble on the Switch. Is that true? I guess. So that's coming out. Is that a true statement? I actually gotta look. Did I copy this wrong? No, that's a true statement.
I feel like they suddenly put out Super Monkey Ball games like every 4 years just to see if anybody notices.
I know that's what threw me off. I was like, is this real? Because I feel like I've seen another game recently, but yeah, this sort of thing. Until then, it's coming out on PlayStation 5 and PC on the 25th. On the 25th. Until the 25th. The 27th, we got Luigi's Mansion 2 on a Switch. Neo Sprint, that's coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. That is a game that I got to try at PAX. So I think I mentioned this game before, but that game is it's like RC Pro-Am and Super Off-Road, but with race cars. So that's coming out on the 27th. On the 28th, there's a game called Spy X Anya, Operation Memories. I don't know much about this game.
Sounds like a visual novel.
And that's coming out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And that's on the 28th. Anything that kind of I'm actually interested in the Luigi's Mansion 2 game. I like Luigi's Mansion, so
I'm in the exact same boat. As much as I shit on Nintendo, I do enjoy Luigi's Mansion game. I think they're really well done. They're super fun. They make you think a little bit, but not too much. Not to the point where I'm going to say that I'm going to buy it right away, but if I see it on sale for like $30, I'll grab it.
Yeah. No, I will wait for it to go on sale, but and again, it depends on how much they're going to ask for this game too. I hope they're not going to ask full price, and I don't think they will. Not with
that was going to
HD.
be my next question too.
Yeah, I don't know what the price is going to be, but I'd be shocked if they ask full price. But I do enjoy myself some Luigi Mansion. The other thing that I do want to mention here, this is something that's coming up here for July. We're going to try something new, and we're going to do this thing called a low score possible challenge. So for the whole month of July,
$60, Roger, $60.
$60. Oh, really? They're asking $60. Yep. I'll wait for it to go on sale then. If it goes on sale, geez.
Except it's Nintendo, which means it'll be $10 off at the most.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna do this lowest possible score challenge. And so the whole premise of the game is that, or this challenge is to say, is that you try to get the lowest score possible in the game that we pick. And for this first game, we're going to be picking Contra. And what we're going to do here is that you try to get through the first level with the lowest score possible. And then whoever gets the lowest score possible, whoever gets the lowest score at the end of the month, they do have to get through the first level. So that's the thing, right? And if you get through the first level with the lowest score, we will have a little gift card of some sort. Like I think we're talking either an eShop gift card or something. But we'll have a giveaway for that. So stay tuned for more of that. I'll do some social media posts on that. But I'm excited for this. This is something different that we're going to try. So and the way that this will work is that you'll be able to post your scores on social media. And I'll have more rules and regulations about how this is all going to work. But stay tuned for that. So that's going to happen in July. That's coming up here really soon. Are you excited about that? I'm very excited.
I'm super curious how this will all work out. I mean, I understand the concept, but like,
yeah,
I don't remember. I haven't played Contra in couldn't even tell you how many years.
It's going to be hard to get a low score and get through that first level.
Well, you got to defeat the boss at the end, obviously, and you got to kill a lot of people in the way.
We're going to try not to kill them. That's the thing. I think you have to try to dodge them.
Right. But does it give you a score when you wrap up level 1? Does it say like level 1 complete and then show, we'll say 500 points? I don't remember how that works.
I better check on that. I think it does. I will check to make sure. But if not, then I'll pick a different game. But that's the game that I want to start with is Contra. Because I think one being 4th of July. I feel like Contra feels like a 4th of July game.
What?
Yeah, because it's like,
guns and explosions.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's what you think of America is guns and explosions, huh?
Is it not?
Man, you live in Wisconsin, don't you?
When I think of 4th of July, I think
Contra.
I think Contra.
Invading aliens.
Correct.
Taking over bases.
Hey, listen, it's either Contra or Aliens, or not Aliens. What is that? What was that? Independence Day. That's
which are aliens, which are also in Contra.
Yes, exactly. That's why I make the connection, Phil, and explosions, and
You have fallen so far, Roger, so far.
That doesn't that sound like 4th of July to you? That's. I know what I'm spending my 4th of July doing.
Playing Contra?
Yeah, exactly. So stay tuned more for that information. Let's talk about games that we're currently playing. So not Contra. I'm not playing Contra yet. Not yet. Phil, what games are you currently playing right now?
Oh man, it's been a rough 2 weeks for me. I really haven't touched much of anything. I did complete one more level of Evil West, so I've only got one level left. As of today, I'm going to go back into Overwatch mode. A new season of Overwatch has started, which I'm looking forward to diving into just because it's always the new skins and new unlockables. But even more so this time, they put out a trailer, not even a trailer, but when you hop into the game, when you get the new season pass or whatever, there's a video that plays, a 3-minute video that outlines everything that's coming out in this new season, including a new map, as well as a reworked map. But then, as the trailer is wrapping up, it shows a picture of the Autobots logo and hits the Transformers noise.
What?
So it would seem as though there's Transformer skins coming to Overwatch, which, if they do this proper, could be pretty dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like most of their crossovers that they've had so far have all been based on anime stuff, including One Punch Man and something else. I don't know. I don't pay attention to anime, but like this Transformer one is kind of the first mainstream one that they've done as far as like not anime, but still in that realm of nerddom. But Transformers is more well known than One Punch Man, in my opinion. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So I'm kind of stoked to see where that all plays out. God, outside of that, I really have not been playing much outside of Restaurant Manager Simulator 2024, and I'm losing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. It's part of the nature of the beast, but again, I'm just stoked for the new Overwatch season because, again, new map, no new character, but potential Transformer skins. Like I see a Bastion skin that could be super rad because Bastion's already like kind of a Transformer. I don't know. Could be fun. What about you, Roger?
Yeah, so I am starting to understand your issue or whatever you want to call it with Overwatch, but my game's not Overwatch.
You still playing Star Wars Outlaws or whatever it's called?
Hunters, yeah.
Hunters, not Outlaws.
Yeah, not Outlaws. That's a different game. That's a different game. That's a different Star Wars game.
Coming soon.
Yeah. Phil, I log in. I'm like, what's my dailies? What do I have to do? What do I have to complete today?
Yep.
What are this? Well, there's new events going on. I got to complete those quests. And then I'm like, okay, I just need a couple more levels to level up to get this new skin. I did that with the Wookiee. Like I completed all the challenges for the Wookiee skin, which is super cool. He's got like this gladiator armor on. It's really cool looking. And then I sat there and like every day now I play that game, and I actually really enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I actually really enjoy my time with the game because it's really short. I mentioned this before. The matches are super short.
Yep.
But I am understanding where you come from now. I understand your world that you live in. And I'm not saying that I don't like it. I kind of like it, but also I'm like, holy hell, this could take up my time.
Yep.
But I am really enjoying the game. It is pretty fun. So like I've been playing more ranked matches because like there are some events right now that I need to complete I have to play ranked matches to get these to complete these challenges. And some of them are pretty hard. So it's like some of them are pretty easy. So it's like win one match in a ranked match. Okay, well, like I lost the first 3, and I'm like, oh, come on, team, let's go.
But the best part is it's never your fault.
That's true. That is never my fault.
This is one of those things that I've learned as well. Well, I shouldn't say that because there does hit to be a certain point in time in my night because I made I realize that there's times that I pause and I raise my hand. I'm like, yo, dude, that one was all on you. I'm done for the night.
But I've gotten, so can I just tell you some things that I learned about like how I play games?
Seriously, please do.
Okay. So there's different games. There's different types of games in this. There is the where you have to capture 2 out of the 3 locations and keep them captured. And if you capture all 3, then you get more and more points. So like you have to get 100 points. If you get 100 points, then you win, right? And it ticks up if you get two places you're controlling. So that's one type. There's another type where you have a little droid and you have to carry it, and the longer you carry it, the more points you get. And you have to keep away from your opponents.
Yep.
There is one where the location unlocks. So, and it's different. It randomly unlocks at different places on the map. So then you have to go there and try to hold that place down and keep your enemies away at bay.
Did they take that point back from you then?
Yes. Yeah. But it's only held. It's locked. It's unlocked for only a certain amount of time. So whoever holds it the longest during that, so you'll hold it, you'll get some points. But then if your opponents get it, then they'll start getting points. But then if it's locked, then the next place unlocks, and you just run to the next place.
Yep.
And hold that spot. There is just the regular brawl where the first team to get 25 kills wins. I feel like there's one. No, I think that's all. I think that's all. I think there's more modes that are coming out. There's talked about this Hut Ball, but I don't know what Hut Ball is. But apparently there's a Hut Ball game coming out too. So these are different modes that are coming out, or that are out, I should say. And today I was playing the one where it was it would lock, and then it would unlock, and then you had to hold that place, and then the next place would lock, and then next place. And I realized the strategy that I had was I take the Wookiee, and then I just distract everybody else on the team and just attack them with the Wookiee, because the Wookiee is really hard to take down because he's a tank, right? And I just go and just be basically a bug in their ear, like a bee that they're trying to fly, they're trying to swat away, try to take out. They're just spending all their time and energy trying to take me out, and the rest of my team is just going to the next.
During the objective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And I was like, this is pretty smart. Like, that's pretty smart strategy on my part. And we won because of that. And we not only just won, it was like 100-5. Like, we killed them because I was just distracting their players from even trying, and at the end of the game, they show you your overall score. And it's based on how many eliminations you had and how many times you've been eliminated and how many assists you had. And granted, I was not ranked very high on my team because, like, I got taken out a lot.
But you're doing the grunt work.
But I was doing the grunt work. That was my whole thing. I was like, I'm just doing the grunt work. When it comes to where you have to get the first team to get 25 kills wins, or where you have to hold 2 out of 3 places, I usually take the healer on that on one of those and just throw down heals. And I just follow the tank and I just throw down heals. And I was like, I'm getting pretty good at these games, actually.
Roger, you're talking to Overwatch right now. Play Overwatch with me.
I know. I should. See, this is the thing. This is the weird thing, because Overwatch intimidates me.
It shouldn't.
I know, but it does for whatever reason. But this game, I don't know why, but like I should try Overwatch because I'm really enjoying my time with Star Wars Hunters. Like, I really like
competitive shooters, Roger.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I'm not a competitive player. That's the thing I don't understand.
I'm not either, man. I hang out and I bullshit with my friends, and I play video games with the video game in the background. It's more so about the conversation that's happening while I'm playing.
Yeah.
And occasionally me screaming, there's a fucking Ana over there. Somebody take out this goddamn Ana. Why have we not done anything about this Ana yet? Come on. I keep luring her off. I've got her down to 1. Somebody fucking finish her.
Yeah, I have to like play it, and I have to understand like the different. So that's the one thing that I do like about Star Wars Hunters, and I'm sure it's the same thing with Overwatch, but like each character plays a little bit differently, obviously.
Absolutely.
But then even the inputs on the characters, like the Dark Jedi, I can't think of her name. Or not, she's not a Jedi. I guess Dark Sith, the Sith assassin. She has like 4 different moves that she can do. So she can throw her saber. She can do like this jump slash down thing. She can do 2 other things too, but it's all like, different inputs. But then you play as the robot Jedi, which is pretty fun. His name is J3DI. Like, I think that's kind of funny. Like, spells Jedi.
They went lead speak on it.
Yeah. And he's a robot. But his moves are very different. He does this whole thing where he does this grab where he pulls you in, like a force grab, except he's a robot, so he doesn't really have the force. So he just shoots his hand out. It's like an extension. And he pulls you back, and then you can slash him with your sword,
like
and
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, like Inspector Gadget. And then both of them can block bullets with their swords. But that's a cooldown.
Sound effects going on tonight.
Well, I know I do.
Boy, roll with it.
And then they each have their ultimates, right? So they can do their ultimate thing. Probably my favorite ultimate is the Stormtrooper, though, because he brings down 2 other Stormtroopers with they surround him, and then they just annihilate everything that's around them. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's a cool game.
Dude, you're seriously playing Star Wars Overwatch is all you're playing.
I know, that's every time I play, I'm like, oh my God, I get it now. I get what Phil's talking about. I understand what he's saying. I understand his language, kind of.
There's a hook.
And there's a hook. So I'm really enjoying that. So I've been playing a lot more Star Wars Hunters. I've been playing this really cool, cute game. It just came out today. And that game is called Tavern Talk. So you run a tavern in a like D&D fantasy world, and people come into your tavern and they ask for different drinks. You pour them different drinks, and then they tell you rumors of what's going on in the world.
Didn't you play something like this similar a couple of years ago as well? I couldn't tell you the name of it, but I distinctly remember you talking about being a bartender in like...
Oh, there was a game called Valhalla.
That's the one.
Yeah. But that was a little bit different. But yes, you are a bartender in that one. This one, this one is, you are. It's like D&D, and then these D&D characters come in, like these fantasy characters come talking to you, and then they give you rumors, and then you set up quests. You put up a quest board, and then those characters, like other characters, will come in and say, "Oh, like you have this quest," and then you give them drinks to help them go on their quest. It's cool. It's a cool concept. It's a cool game. So I'm really enjoying that. That's a cute game that just came out. This came out today. And then
what's it on
PC.
Okay.
Oh no, it's also on Switch too, and it might be on Xbox too. Actually, now that I say it,
I didn't see it when I looked at the store today, but maybe it came out after I looked at the store. I don't know. I haven't tried Xbox in a couple hours.
But it is for sure on the Switch. I do know that. So
it's only on the PC. Got it.
Yeah. Another game that is only on the PC right now, and I hope they bring this to other consoles. It's in early access right now. But this game is called Be My Horde. And I think I talked about this because I played it at PAX East.
Yep, sounds familiar.
you are a necromancer, and it's Vampire Survivor, except you're a necromancer and you raise the dead, and you surrounded yourself with a horde of undead, and then people like other characters come and try to attack you, and you attack them. If you kill them, you raise them, build up your horde bigger and bigger and bigger. You try to survive as long as you can.
Listeners, I really wish you could see Roger tonight. Roger is on fire with both the sound effects and the hand motions.
I know, that's true.
There is a lot going on tonight. Roger's very excited and very happy.
I know.
It's a thing of beauty.
It's a fun game. I streamed it actually the other night.
I think I watched that.
So you can go out to our YouTube channel. You can watch my latest stream. And yeah, I streamed the game. It's fun. It's a cool game. The artwork is cute.
You can say cute. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't know if it is cute though. I mean, it's cute, but then you're also killing like these things. So like, it's an interesting
killing's cute.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Like Cult of the Lamb is cute.
Yeah,
that's true. The voice acting is really good. The voice actress that plays Mariana, who is the necromancer, she is fantastic. She is a very like sultry voice. Because the game's called Be My Horde, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna join my oh, funny. You think you're gonna defeat me? You're gonna be joining me." And it's just really, it's
easy, Roger. Yeah, this is a rated for everybody game.
So it's cool. That's on early. It's out in early access right now on Steam. So you should go check that game out. And then the other thing I'll just mention here too, I'm going to be playing this. So every Wednesday I'm going to stream games, and this week I'm going to be playing the game World of Grimm. I played this before. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to actually invite the developer on the stream with me, and they added a bunch of new cards to this game. It's a free to play Marvel Snap type game, except in the World of Grimm. And they added a bunch of new cards. And
I'm assuming Grimm is in Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to verify for our listeners.
Yeah. So I'll be streaming that this coming Wednesday.
It's tough to be Mike and I at the same time. This sucks. Mike!
Yeah. And then the other game that I'll mention here, I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. So I've been playing some more of this game. This is both a video game and a board game. This is kind of one of those cool things. It is Soulforge Fusion. Soulforge Fusion. So it's one of those collectible card games, but then you can scan the cards and you can play those same cards online. I actually they had a sale going on not too long ago, and I bought a bunch of booster packs for the game. So I'll be doing that at some point too, on opening up those packs.
I was about to say, is that the one where you get the physical cards and then translate into digital cards?
Yeah.
See, I pay attention.
Yeah, you do.
Accuse me of not doing that. Jesus,
you do. And then the other game, the other board game I've been playing. I played this with my wife the other day. I was super excited because it was Father's Day, and I was like, I want to play a board game for Father's Day. And she said, "Okay, so what game do you want to play?" And I said, "I just got this new board game called Fire Tower." And I wanted
Divorce
to play.
Papers.
No, not Divorce Papers. No. And Fire Tower is so you can play up to 4 people, and you each have a tower in the corner of the board, and in the middle of the board is fire, and the wind moves like the direction of the wind. Fire's added in the direction of the wind, and every turn you have to add 1 piece of fire based on the direction of the wind to a piece of fire that's already out there. And you're trying to move them towards your opponent's fire tower to burn down their tower.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that either. That sounds kind of badass.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. And I can imagine, like, it was only her and I playing it. But I can imagine how chaotic this would be with 4 players. And then there's cards, and you can play, you can pick up 5 cards to start with. And then you can play a card. So you play 1 piece of fire, and then you play a card. And the card, you can change direction of the wind. That's an option. You can also, there's fire that can happen. So like you can have, like for instance, a flare up. So then you can add 3 pieces of fire to any piece of fire that's already out there. Or there might be an ember. So you can take a piece of fire and then you can move it to another part of the of the board as long as it's touching another piece of fire. So try to get your fire away. Then there's also water, so you can douse some of the water, and then there's deforestation, so you can build basically fire blocks to stop the fire from getting to your tower. But it's really cool. It's a simple game, but it's a cool game. It's a cool strategy game. And I lost. Like my wife is like way smarter at this kind of stuff.
Day?
Yeah, I know. I think she let me win the second game. But the first game, like, she just slaughtered me. Like, it was not even close. And then I think she let me win the second one. But she's very smart, and it doesn't surprise me. But it was really funny when she beat me. She was like, "Did you really want to play this game? Wow. Are you happy we played this game now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I still had fun. I said, "But I want to play again." She's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I won. But might have let me win. I'm not sure on Father's Day.
There's no proof.
It
does sound pretty easy to pick up and play. Like, it doesn't sound overly convoluted like a lot of board games do.
No, it's super easy.
That's intriguing.
Yeah. And keep an eye on it, because I actually picked it up at Walmart. I think it's usually $30. I picked it up for $15 because it was on sale.
Oh, that's dirt cheap.
Yeah, that's the reason I heard about this game before, and I was like, oh, like I want to keep an eye on it. And then I found it for $15, and I was like, I'll pick that up for $15. And it's the best $15 I ever spent on a board game. It's really good. Yeah, it's really fun. I think that's all that we have for this week's show.
Mike,
do you have anything else? No?
Ouija board says no.
No. I do want to say one last thing. I do have some listener feedback. And listeners, if you want to give us feedback, you can. There's several ways you can give us feedback. That's
where I'm failing as Mike. I'm supposed to be getting you to plug things. Damn it, Mike's so good at that.
Oh, yeah. You can go to any place that you listen to podcasts, but you can go to, for instance, Good Pods. We have a link for that in our show notes, and you can leave us a review there. You can also go to either our website or to our YouTube channel and leave us reviews there too. But this one actually came through Discord, and this came from N Johnson 5513, and they said, just wanted to say I've been loving all your episodes of the Gamerheads podcast. You've been infused into my routine, and wanted to give you praise for the content, laughs, and enjoyment that you show by doing what you do enjoy. So thank you so
mighty
much.
Sweet of N Johnson. What was
I
the
know.
number at the end of it?
5513.
I'm curious what happened to the first 5512 before him. Did you have to kill all of them? Like, in
I think so. Like, there can only be 5,513.
Good for you, N Johnson. Way to be powerful.
Yeah. So, so thank you so much. That was really kind, and that was a nice piece of feedback that we got from the show, and that made me that made my day. I'm not gonna lie. So
all it takes is one simple review will just put a smile on your face, and you're just like, all right, somebody's listening. Like, it doesn't take much.
That's true. So yeah, let us know what you think about the show. We want to hear. We do want to hear from you. So let us know.
Where can people let us know, Roger?
Again, they can leave us a review on Good Pods. They can leave us reviews on our website at gamerheadspodcast.com. They can leave us reviews on our YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/gamerheads. So there's plenty of different ways they can leave us reviews. But
can they just reach out on the easiest form of social media known to man?
Oh, yeah, on Twitter. Just reach out to us on Twitter.
And how can they do that?
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about how people can get a hold of us. So follow us. You can follow us on Twitter at Gamerheads Pod. You can also follow me at Nintenraj on Twitter. And Phil, how can people follow you on Twitter?
You can find me at BNow23 on Twitter.
Yeah. So please let us know what you think about the show. We do appreciate the feedback that we get.
Dude, I wasn't trying to rap. I was just trying to feed you some info to give.
No, but it is the end. It is the end of the show. It is the end of the show. Yeah, it is.
I still got another 30 minutes left. I've only been podcasting for 2.5 hours at this point.
This is a full hour, dude. We filled a full hour between the both of us.
Oh God, I got a lot to say tonight.
I guess. Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Always.
And listeners, thank you so much for giving us a listen. Like I said, we do want to hear what you have to say, so leave us a review. That helps us grow as well. Mike will also be gone next week. So like I said, we're bringing in Baron next week from Level 1 Gaming, and perhaps another surprise guest. I'll have to see. I didn't hear back from them yet, but I'm hoping that they'll say yes. So we'll have some surprise guests next week. But until next week, everyone, stay safe and game on. Bye.
Guys, leave reviews. Roger gave me a really weird look through the camera, and it kind of made me feel uneasy. But please, talk to us. Also, take care. Otherwise, I might not be here next week. I'm scared.